Plus 972 is a left-wing Israeli outlet which just interviewed 6 Israeli occupation force soldiers, and they gave just some horrifying testimonials as to how the occupation forces act. So I'm going to put the link to the article in the comments of this because it's a very interesting read, but I want you to know that it talks about things such as the soldiers telling the author of the piece, we used to just shoot people to let off steam. That, there was no restrictions as to who they could shoot in Gaza, whether they be old, young, men, women, children. They were all fair game to a lot of the soldiers. A lot of the soldiers who were reservists that hadn't seen actual action were allowed to just go off and shoot to let off some steam, to actually experience the warfare of what is happening. That's the sort of environment that the occupation forces allow. And we've seen footage of just civilians randomly getting shot by occupation force soldiers. I remember a few months ago it was an elderly lady with a child, and they just shot at them, and I'm pretty sure they killed the elderly lady for no reason. The only reason they give is that they entered no-go zones, just areas that the military said you can't go, so if you're a civilian, you're going to get shot and killed on the spot. The problem is the military kept telling Palestinians to move all over the place in these very confusing little blocks that Palestinians weren't used to, and they could only look at via a map on their phones when service is spotty in Gaza at the best of times. So people were accidentally walking into these no-go zones and they were getting murdered by occupation force soldiers who were letting off steam, as is written in this article. It's a very in-depth article. It's interviewing 6 sources, 6 soldiers, 5 of whom are anonymous. It is a horrifying read, but I highly recommend you read it. So I'm going to put a link to the Plus 972 magazine article in the comments. And, if you can't see it because TikTok suppresses it, just look for Plus 972 magazine online. It is an Israeli left-wing magazine.